Hey everyone, welcome to the Wilson Homestead. So we are in the dead of winter right now. It is, I think, 9 degrees outside right now, and I'm going crazy. So I have to grow something. I must grow something. It's too early to start my tomatoes and stuff, so I have to find something to fill my soul with joy. Number one, I am going to plant my AeroGarden. It's a little hydroponic setup. You've probably heard of them before. I think I'm just going to put a mix of lettuces in there because I'm really craving some good lettuce. And, you know, here lately, the stuff at the store, you have to worry if it has, what is it, listeria or whatever in it, and it's going to kill you. So I'm going to grow some of my own lettuce. And also, I have an amaryllis that's been sitting in my closet since frost came last year, and it should have been potted up for Christmas, but that didn't happen, so I'm just now getting around to it. But anyway, it needs up potted. It has grown quite a bit in the last couple years that I've had it, so I need to put it in a bigger pot and let it start going so I can have a beautiful flower. And also, I bought some seeds from Walmart the other day, and they're perennial seeds, and so I thought that I would just winter sow them in milk jugs, and I'll show you how to do that too on this video. So let's get to it. Okay, let's get this AeroGarden set up. I have the Grow Anything seed pod kit. And I have a few different kinds of lettuce here. I have regular Bibb lettuce. I have ruby red leaf lettuce. And I have Marvel of Four Seasons lettuce. So I think that'll be a pretty good mix of lettuces. This setup has the ability to grow 6 plants. So I'll probably do 2 of each. And inside this kit, we have these little pods that sit down in the system. And then inside of the pod is this little growing medium that fits right down in it. And then there's these little stickers here that you put over top of it. And it also includes little humidity domes to put over them until they sprout, and then you take these off. We're going to start by filling this system with water, and there is a line on here that lets you know how far to fill it up. It says max right there, and you don't want to go past that line. We have pretty good tap water, so I'm just using tap water to fill this up. Now I'm going to add in the plant food, and it tells you right on the back of the bottle how much you need for your system. And mine is a 6-pod system, so I need 2 capfuls at startup, and then every 2 weeks you put 2 more capfuls in. And always make sure that your water level stays up. You don't want this thing to go dry. I'm actually going to use, I already have a bottle of this opened and it apparently spilled everywhere. But you just want to shake it up, and it is a little bit stinky. Yuck. There's 1. And there's 2. Okay, now we're going to get these seeds put in here. And I think the simplest way to do this is going to be taking this pod, putting in the growing medium, and then sprinkling the seed down in here before I put the sticker over top of it. I'm going to put a few seeds in each cell, and then I will just thin them out once they start growing. See how small lettuce seed is? And I've had this seed for a few years, so the germination rate might be down. So I'm going to put like 6 in there. Okie dokie. Now for the stickers. Whenever these first came out, you had to iron these on, which I never did. So I'm glad that they turned these into stickers instead. So much easier. Now I have enough stuff in this kit that I can grow another batch of something whenever the lettuce is done. But the lettuce should produce for a really long time. All that's left to do now is put on their little hats and get the system turned on. Let there be light. This does have an adjustable light on it. I will set it to where it's the closest to the plants and then gradually raise it as the plants grow. You want to keep it about 4 inches above the plants. And here it says press and hold for 2 seconds to start a new garden. Okay, and we are on salad greens, so you can adjust it to wherever you want. We're going to leave it on salad greens and we're good to go. Now it will remind me in 2 weeks whenever I need to put plant food in, this will light up. But in the meantime, I am going to keep an eye on the water and make sure it stays at this line. And we're good to go. We just started lettuce. Now in about 3 weeks or so we'll be able to start harvesting. I'm excited for that. Now on to the next project. I get to play in the dirt a little bit. This is my amaryllis. Poor thing. It's been in the closet so long it's got cobwebs on it. I hope it'll be okay. I should not have let it in there that long. But anyway, I have this pretty pot here that I am going to up pot it into because it's getting a little too big for this tiny container. But this is one of my favorite pots. I don't even remember where it came from. I'm guessing Walmart. But it has a built-in saucer and it's very heavy. So I think that this will be the perfect new home for my amaryllis. Now typically what I do with amaryllis is I pot them up, 6 to 8 weeks before Christmas. And because you want the blooms for Christmas. Now this is a Red Lion, I think, is the variety. So it has big red blooms that are gorgeous. And after it blooms, you cut the stalks off and you just keep it in a sunny window until it gets nice outside where there's no more frost. And then what I do is I put it out on my front porch to live clear up into, until there's a danger of frost. And then I bring it back in and I cut it back and I put it in the closet. And so this poor thing has been in the closet since probably September. And it's now February, so that is not good. So don't do like I did, but I think it is going to be salvageable because look, it has a little growing tip right there, a little bit of green coming out. So hopefully I can get this in its new home and all will be well. So first off, I am going to go ahead and pre-moisten this potting soil. It's been sitting in my basement for a while, so it's very dry, and I want to get some moisture in there. Plus, I'm going to be planting some seeds after this, so I want this potting soil to be nice and moist. I always find myself using that word, and I know that I'm not supposed to say that word because some people don't like it, but I can't help it. How about damp? We need to have some damp potting soil. That's what we need. So I'm just going to get my hands dirty here and break up these clumps. This is just regular Miracle-Gro potting soil. I think it's in a yellow bag. Yeah, yellow bag. And I'm just going to try to get this water worked in here. It's going to need more. It's so dry. Alright, let's have a little bit more here. I'm going to have such a mess here on my kitchen table. I'm trying to break up the chunks as I go. And I think that's about good. You don't want it sopping wet. You just want it damp enough. Like I'm squeezing on that and no water is coming out. And I'll probably water the stuff I'm planting in a little bit after I get them potted up. But that feels pretty good to me. If you let soil dry out, potting, well not soil, but potting mix, once it dries out at a certain point, it's hard to like make it accept moisture again. So this just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, I'm gonna start out with a good layer of soil here in the bottom of this container. And the thing with amaryllis bulbs is you don't want them buried super deep. Maybe just halfway up the bulb. So I want this to set flush about maybe an inch below the rim of this container, because that's where I'll stop putting soil in, so that way when I water, the water doesn't spill over the sides. So I need a little bit more in there. I'm just packing it down lightly, not a whole lot. Let's see where we are now. Okay. Yeah, that looks like a pretty good depth. We don't want to cover this part. The bulb still feels really firm, so I think that this amaryllis is going to be okay in the end. Time will tell. But I'm just going to pack some soil around the edges of it here. It feels so nice to be playing in the soil again. Okay, getting pretty close here. I think that this bulb will be so happy in its new home. Alright, that looks pretty good. You can see that the bulb is still sticking out here at the top. Only the bottom, probably the bottom third of the bulb is buried. And I'm just going to give it a little drink of water making sure not to like water down over the neck of this plant because I don't want a whole bunch of moisture to get in there and rot the plant out. And that is good to go. I'll have to clean up the pot a little bit, but it will go into a sunny window and we'll see if we have some pretty blooms here in about a month or so. Okay, next up we are going to winter sow some lupines, lupins, or whatever you call them. And so we need to get this milk jug ready for this task. I already washed this and I couldn't get the label off, so I'm just leaving it on there. But you want to start about right here. You don't want to cut clear through the handle. You want to leave the handle intact. And I'm just going to cut all the way around until I get to the other side of the handle, and I'm going to leave that part intact. See, now we have a little hinge here. We can open it up and put the soil in, and also we need to add some drain holes here in the bottom. There has to be an easier way to do these drain holes. Like if you would heat up something and poke in there, but this will be okay. It's fine. It's fine. We're making it work. See there? That is good enough. Also, I almost forgot to tell you, but we take the lid off of this because these are going to be sitting outside in the weather, in the snow, and all the mess, but this will allow enough rain or snow to get down to the seeds to keep them damp, so that way they'll germinate. And they won't germinate until they get warm enough to do that. But we're going to start out by putting a few inches of potting mix down in the bottom of the jug. That looks pretty good. Pack it down just a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to go wash my hands so I don't get my seeds all wet, because I probably won't plant all of them in this one jug. These are the seeds I got. These are Lupin's Russell's Hybrid Mixed Colors. Look at all of those beautiful colors. I'm so excited about this. I haven't grown lupins before, but the instructions on the packet says to sow them after a danger of frost and to nick the seeds and then put them in the ground. So you could do it that way, but it also says on the packet that to hasten germination, chill seed in refrigerator. So basically, we're passing up the refrigerator thing, and we're going to winter sow these and put them outside. Then they get their chill time while they're sitting outside, and then they will germinate in the spring as soon as the weather warms up a little bit. And these are perennial, so I'll be able to enjoy these for some years if they actually grow. These seeds are actually pretty big. I think what I'm going to do is sow some of them in here, and then I might try to start some of them in flats in the grow room. But take a look at these seeds. See, they're pretty big, so they'll be easy to work with. I don't want to put just a whole lot in here. Maybe, gosh, I don't know, about 9. Would probably be a good number, so that way they don't get too crowded and it'll be easier for me to take them apart. Oh, and I need to look at how deep I'm supposed to plant them. 1/8 of an inch deep. So I'm just gonna push them down a tiny bit into the soil. I don't know. I'm wanting to put some extra ones in there in case they don't all germinate. Should I? Should I not? Let's just put a couple extra ones in there. I just don't want to have like a nightmare whenever, like if all of them would sprout and then I would have to tease them all apart. Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of this potting soil back over top of them. Not very much, because like I said, only 1/8 of an inch deep, so. And the rest of these seeds, I will try to start in the grow room. Maybe I can get enough of a head start that I could have blooms the first year. I don't know if these bloom the first year, it doesn't really say. Okay, now these feel damp enough that I don't think that I'm going to put any extra water in here at this point, since they will be getting snowed and rained on outside. So I'm just going to cover this back up and put a piece of duct tape clear around to keep this closed, and then set it outside in the sun and wait for spring. How easy is that? Now, if we would go through a dry period, you would have to check and see if the soil still has moisture in it, but we rarely go through any dry spells, so I think I'll be good to go. But if you live in a different climate than I do, you'll probably have to check these, and if it's really dry there, just give them a little bit of water every once in a while. But this is like the planting version of set it and forget it. I love it. I have this labeled and taped back together, and we are now outside on the front porch. I'm going to set it over here where there is not a roof so it can rain right into this container. Good luck, little lupins. I'll see you in the spring. I have a friend right here. Look at this. What are you doing, Lucifer? What are you doing? Another stray cat that showed up. Alright, I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time here on the Wilson Homestead. Bye, guys. Everyone, welcome to the Wilson Homestead. So, we are in the dead of winter right now, and it just seems like spring is so far away. Hot now, so I'm gonna get it. Jeez. I was doing so well, and then it just. Oh, too old for this. Oh God, I just can't get anywhere with this amaryllis. Dead end. No. 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 Number 1, I am the Lord have mercy. Cannot talk today. And shit.